Hello guys, welcome back. I decided that I'm going to show you another game of Yagiz Kaan Erdogmus because the feedback from the first game was absolutely amazing, absolutely incredible. So thank you guys for that. And the comments were very nice. This is game from round 5 of Clash of Generations 3, where Veselin Topalov faced Yagiz Kaan Erdogmus. So let's see what happens in this game. But before we check out the actual game, I have a special announcement for all the Bobby Fischer fans. Uh, Game 4 of my Bobby Fischer series is coming out this weekend. You can expect it on Saturday at 11 Central Europe time. So stay tuned for that. And one more thing, if you are enjoying in my content, you can, dear subscribers, you can, if you're playing some chess on chess.com or Lichess, you can send me your games. And if you want to be featured in my videos, in my series, Learn from Beginners, link is in the description below. So you're welcome to send your games. And now let's get to this amazing masterpiece and see what Yagiz Kaan produced on the board. We have Veselin Topalov with the white pieces opened and started the game with e4. We have c6. Interesting start. We haven't had the Caro-Kann defense on my channel yet, so we have d4 and d5. This is the Caro-Kann. e5 and bishop to f5 and knight to f3 and e6, nicely closing the structure when this bishop is out of the pawn chain. And now bishop to e2 and a6. As you can see, this is already an interesting decision by Yagiz Kaan. Here, the most played move is c5. You need to break open in the center, and then we would see something like c3, nicely defending this pawn. Knight to c6, putting a lot of pressure on this d4 pawn, but cancels, and then bishop goes back to g6, a3, stopping any future bishop b4 ideas or knight jumps, so makes sense. But this is the line which is usually played, but here we have already a6, and I can tell you in this one, it's going to be a very aggressive and interesting game, so stay tuned. We have castles by Topalov, and now c5, so Erdogmus strike in the center, and bishop to e3. Topalov nicely defends this d4 pawn. We have a trade, c takes on d4, knight takes on d4, putting some pressure on that bishop. And now not retreating with the bishop, but Yagiz Kaan defends the bishop with knight to e7, and we have f4, cementing this e5 pawn. h5, preparing maybe some g6 ideas to cement this bishop. And we have knight to d2, knight from b to c6, putting some pressure on that d4 knight. And now knight takes the bishop, knight takes on f5, and knight takes on f5. And bishop goes back. Bishop is nicely controlling those dark squares. But as you can see with g6, this f5 knight is really nicely placed, and it will be hard for white to kick this knight out. So we have bishop to d3. Topalov goes eyes that annoying knight. Rook c8, nicely putting the rook on a semi-open file. We have a3, a very useful move, stopping black pieces from coming to that important b4 square, and bishop to e7, and now rook c1. we have b5 by Erdogmus, and now before stopping any b4 ideas, and we have knight h6. Maybe the idea is to bring the knight to g4 square and put some pressure on this bishop, which is a very strong white piece. And we have h3. Topalov prevents knight jump to that g4 square, and we have knight back to f5, and king goes to h2. A very useful move. You need to stay away from this long diagonal because you never know when the queen will arrive on that b6 square. We have h4 by Yagiz, knight to f3. You need some more control of that d4 square. Knight to g3. Now this knight is very annoying here. It attacks the rook, so rook e1 and even g5 by Yagiz. So as you can see, Erdogmus is trying to put some pressure on that white king, and now we have queen goes to d2, defending this pawn. So if black captures, queen with the recapture, and now we have rook to g8, a very nice move by Erdogmus. Rook is nicely placed on this long file, and now c3. I believe Topalov needed more control of that d4 square, and we have g takes on f4 and rook c2. First defending, maybe the second rank, and now queen goes to c7. And this is a very nice move by Yagiz. The queen is nicely eyeing that white king, and when the position will open up, white king can get in a lot of trouble. And here, in this position, I'm going to ask you, what would you play here with the white pieces? Here, Veselin Topalov played a4, which is a mistake, and he lost the advantage in this position. And as you can see in this position, the evil is slightly higher for white. It's plus 0.97, so we can say it's plus 1. He needed to find queen takes on f4. But it's interesting to me that he didn't took the pawn. What was he afraid of? Because this is a free pawn, and you grab the pawn, you put the queen in the center of the board, and you're controlling a lot of space. And here we would see something like the best thing for black would be to play f5, and now even bishop takes on g3, rook takes on g3, and now a4. This was the right thing to do because b takes on a4, and now you go queen h6, and king goes to f7. Believe it or not, this is the best square for the king because white has got no useful checks. But as you can see, white is better. But unfortunately, here Veselin missed, and he played a4, and Yagiz also missed his opportunity, and he played b takes on a4, which is not the best thing for black to do. The best plan for black is to play a very nice idea. You need to play knight a4. Sorry, you need to play, this is not e4, you need to play knight e4. And once the threat is, you're threatening the queen and the bishop, so you need to get rid of this annoying knight. Bishop takes the knight, d takes on e4, and rook takes on e4. And now knight takes on b4 you can't capture because if you capture, you're losing the game immediately, as you can see. So this is the threat. And what can you do? You can play rook c1, and now the position is equal. And yeah, this would be the right thing to do, but Yagiz missed, and he played b takes on a4. And now we have rook goes to a2, putting some pressure on the pawn, and now d4. Another mistake by Yagiz. And here Topalov played knight takes on d4, which is a miss. I'm going to show you a nice quick line. Here he needed to find bishop takes on a6, and we would see something like d takes on c3. At Zwischenzug, you attack the queen, but now queen takes on f4, and you need to move the rook because your rook is attacked. Rook goes to b8, and as you can see by the evil, this is much better position for white. It's +2, so white would probably win this game. You can push the pawn, the bishop is nicely placed, this pawn will fall, this pawn is weak, so the king is very safe here, and you got a very active queen. So here Topalov missed his chance, and he played knight takes on d4, and we have knight takes on e5. This pawn is free, and now bishop takes on a6, attacking the rook. And this is the first critical position in the game. I'm going to ask you guys, you are playing like you are playing chess like Erdogmus. Pause the video, and what would you play with the black pieces? Comment in the comments down below. Just one move, what would you play? Well, if you spotted this, you are an exceptional player, maybe a grandmaster, but you needed to find f3. What's the idea behind this move? Look at this queen. The queen nicely eyes this king. You need to open this long diagonal. And now the point is, here Veselin played bishop to b5, which is a good move. Knight jumps to d7. The queen is eyeing this king, so this knight will have some nasty discoveries. Check, and you pick up the queen. So you need to sidestep with the king. King goes to g1, which is a very useful move. Otherwise, you get destroyed. But now e2 square is available for your knight. We have knight e2 check, and we have knight takes on e2, and this is the second pause the video moment. This is this one is not so hard. What would you play with the black pieces? You can pause the video if you like. Well, of course, you play rook takes on g2. Amazing stuff by Erdogmus. And now, if you go to h1, you're getting mated. I hope you saw that, all of you. You need to go to f1 so you don't get mated. But here Yagiz continued with rook takes the bishop on f2, king takes, and queen delivers a nice check on h2, and king takes the pawn, queen takes on h3, king goes to f2, and queen delivers a nice check. Queen f4, queen is nicely defended by the knight, and queen picks up a bishop. And rook to g1 was played. This is the mistake. Here, I was expecting in this position that Topalov would find, because this move looks the most natural move to play. And then we would see something like queen to d5, And now rook takes on a4, and the game would go on. Black would be slightly better, but yeah, white king is in the open, but it will be harder for black. Black would be much better, but this was the best thing for white to do. Here, Topalov played rook to g1, and we have the idea is certainly to check the black king, and here Yagiz played knight f6, develops the knight, nicely controls this g8 square, and we have queen goes to f3, and now queen to c4. This is not this is the mistake by Erdogmus. Here, if he pounds the h3 move with the pawn, this would be much better, and then we would see something like knight d4, queen goes to e5, and rook e2, nicely defending the king, attacking the queen. Queen goes to d5, and we have a trade of the queens, and knight b5. Black would be better, but this would be much better than what Yagiz played. Queen to c4 was played, and now we have rook takes on a4, knight e4 check, king goes to e1, and we have knight to g5, attacking the queen. Queen goes to b7, attacking the rook. So if the queen moves to some, let's say here, you can pick up the rook. Rook goes to c7, attacks the queen, and queen to a8 check. Rook goes back to c8, and rook g4. The idea is the deflection. If let's say black takes, this is a big blunder because you capture the rook with check, and then bishop needs to go to d8, and then you play. You just you put some more pressure on the pinned piece, and the threat is made, so you need to escape, and then we would see something like queen takes on d8, and black is losing. So here in this position, queen to c7 was played, and queen goes back to h1, h3, and rook to a5, putting some pressure on the knight, but f5 cutting that long file, and now we have a very nice move by Topalov, but rook takes on g5, bishop takes on g5, and queen takes on h3, bishop goes back to f6, and as you can see by the eval, it's move 46, and Veselin Topalov is still in the game. It's 0.03, so the position is equal. Now we have king goes to f1 and rook to d8, a very nice move. The threat is d1 check. We have rook goes to a6, the threat is e6 check, and queen goes to c4, nicely pinning the knight, defending the e6 square, and queen delivers a nice check. King goes to f8, and now queen to c6, which is a big blunder. Here I'm going to show you what Veselin Topalov should have played to stay in the game. He should have found rook to a7. The point is that if you see this square, the threat is made, so you need to give a check, but you're not checkmating the white king. King goes to f2, and even bishop to h4 check. King goes to g2. This knight is nicely defended by the queen, so and the knight is nicely covering all these squares. As you can see, this knight is doing a wonderful job defending the white king. Queen goes to d5 with check, but now you just block with the queen. Queen d2, putting pressure on the knight. Queen h5, you're threatening mate, but you repeat, and now queen goes to f3. We have a trade of the queens, and e5. And as you can see here, white has got a knight, black has got a bishop. Those two passed pawns look scary, but white has got two passed pawns also, so it will be a question. And black king is cut out of the action, and white king is much more active. The engine says it's equal, but this would be the best Topalov had. Unfortunately, he played queen to h6, which I really can't explain why, because this is the most natural move. You just put the bishop back to g7 square, you defend everything. This square is nicely defended by the queen, and even if you took this pawn, you're getting mated because the rook is coming to d1 square, and now we have, like I said, queen takes on e6, and now you will see amazing checkmating idea by Erdogmus. You can see mate in 26, rook d1 check, king goes to g2, and now queen delivers check on g4, king goes to h2, a nice check on h4, king goes back to g2, queen h1 check, king goes to f2, and queen delivers check on h2. It says mate in 10, mate in 4, king goes to e3, but now queen delivers a nice check. You see this pawn is nicely covering the e4 square, and the rook is nicely cutting the d file. So this is, if you go here, let's say, for example, you can play rook f1 and king g5, and this is mate. But in the game Topalov played king to f2, and it was queen h2, king e3, and queen h3, king f2, and this is a nice checkmate. So as you can see, Erdogmus really outplayed in the endgame Veselin Topalov. So this is the second game which I showed on my channel of this young, amazing chess prodigy. So I hope you will enjoy it in my analysis. And if you haven't already, please you're welcome to subscribe so you don't miss any of chess videos. Like I said, I'm covering Bobby Fischer series, so you're welcome to watch. I'm going to put the link in the description down below. And yeah, we will see you with the next chess video. Have a good day and enjoy. Goodbye.